Well, hi, hello. I'm Shelby Nesmith, and when I'm not representing the awesome, talented artists in our area as executive director of Lemon Street Gallery and Art Space, I myself am an artist. I think recognizing women in our community is so important, especially in the nonprofit sector, because on average, the CEOs, 22% of them, or people leading the nonprofits, only 22% are female, whereas 75% of the workforce is made up by women. So having that gap there, it is a big milestone to kind of push through those barriers that have been set in front of us as women in this kind of sector that we work in. So it's so important to highlight those people. I've also felt love, appreciation from my community by being highlighted in this way. It's like a big hug, so thank you. And it's just so important. It validates the work that I'm doing. It shows that what I'm doing is important, and it continues to drive me forward. So thank you for taking a chance to highlight this. And I'm just excited for what's ever next.
As we celebrate this extraordinary women tonight, let us be reminded of the values that Susan B. Anthony herself stood for: equality, justice, and a commitment to empowering others. Back in 2016, the board of Susan B. Anthony Awards Dinner took a bold step to elevate the celebration by not only honoring women with prestigious Lifetime Achievement Awards, but also introducing the Women of Influence Awards. This new distinction was created to spotlight remarkable community leaders who truly embody the enduring spirit of Susan B. Anthony. At this time, I would like to ask all previous Susan B. Anthony Lifetime Achievement Award winners to please stand so that we can honor and salute and recognize you all. Look at them all over the room. Congratulations to each of you for making Kenosha a better place through your leadership. I would also like to thank our previous recipients of the Women of Influence Awards who are here tonight. Thank you for being here to honor tonight's recipients and for your part in making this a great event each and every year. Would our previous Women of Influence Awards please stand to be recognized? I would like to also ask our previous winners of both Lifetime Achievement Women of Influence to please report immediately following Jenny, because she's going to come up here next. You're going to come to the left of the stage, your right when we get ready to do dinner. So I repeat. Can you hear me in the back? Guida, can you hear me back there? All previous winners of the Lifetime Award, please, right before dinner, because we want to get a group shot of you all, okay? All right, thank you. So next, I want to acknowledge our elected officials. CJ, there's a lot of ringing up here. Thank you. Can you all hear that ringing? Yeah, thank you. Next, I wanted to acknowledge our elected officials and dignitaries in the room this evening. If you are an elected official, please stand. Wow. Please join me in thanking these fine community servants for their dedication, commitment to service to our community. We really appreciate you spending the evening with us tonight. Thanks to our move to a larger venue, we're welcomed 100 attendees each year to honor these outstanding winners. We thank Parkside for their tremendous hospitality. We couldn't do this without them. I want to briefly recognize a few other people and organizations that make this evening possible. We cannot do this without our fantastic community supporting partners. Thank you to our sponsors, our Platinum, which is Snap-on and Carthage. You can clap. Our silver sponsor is Uline, and our bronze sponsor is Kenosha Community Foundation. Thank you so much. I also want to thank Courtney Silva from CJ Photography and Dr. Veronica King for their photography services this evening. Now, please be nice and fair. They're going to get a lot of pictures of you at your table, so smile pretty for the camera, okay? We want to remember this night for years to come. So you wave, CJ and Veronica wave. All right, our photographers. Now, at this time, take advantage of these moments and memories that we can create and treasure for years. If you're posting on social media, be sure to hashtag SBA 2026 so that we too can capture your memories for our archives. So how many of you love flowers? No? No? Oh, good, I get to take all the flowers home. See, Jenny? See how this worked out? So great news, they can be yours tonight. For a small minimum donation of $20, these flowers can go home with you tonight. You can purchase tonight and enjoy this evening. It's like Amazon. Simply scan the QR code displayed around the venue to make your donation. It's quick and easy. All proceeds from your support tonight go to nonprofits and women's scholars. So feel free to out-donate your table. It can be more than $20. That's just the minimum. So go ahead and start scanning and give us your money. A little friendly competition never hurts. Alternatively, you can also use the envelope for those that are not tech savvy. We appreciate that too. So please, you can drop your donation in the envelopes that are on the tables around around the flowers. We appreciate your generous support. All right, I'd like to also recognize the Susan B. Anthony Women of Influence Award Planning Committee and Board of Directors. These dedicated women have worked diligently throughout the year to plan and organize tonight's event. Their efforts honor the exceptional women in our community who are making a significant impact. As I call your name, please stand or wave or remain standing, please, so that we can honor and salute you tonight. Wendy Gauss, way in the back, Wendy. Amanda Blummel, Rita Hagan, Sierra Talami, Rebecca Matowski-Menti, Ashley Henricks, Jenny Tunkeys, Terry Gamble, Francis Kevenick, and myself, Tamara Coleman, your board of directors for Susan B. Anthony. The women on our planning committee and board of directors are also members of our co-sponsoring organizations, the AAU Kenosha branch, the Kenosha Women's Network, and Temple Kenosha. We appreciate these organizations for making this evening possible. Please take a moment to read more about them in your program tonight. Please read it. It's amazing things that these community organizations are doing. And I invite and encourage you to get involved with these impactful organizations. Thank you all again for being a part of this special evening. We are excited to share in these moments of recognition, inspiration, and celebration. Let's honor the women who influence, continue to leave a lasting impact and a mark on our community. At this time, I'd like to invite Jenny T to the stage as we begin our awards portion of our program. Hey, Jenny. How are you, Jenny?
Well, thank you, Tamara. And as Tamara has mentioned, all the money raised here tonight goes to the nonprofit organizations that help women and girls in our community, and for scholarships to the non-traditionally aged women looking to advance their careers. So please buy those raffle tickets, get yourself some sweets, and take home these lovely flowers. First, I want to say this is always the best looking crowd at any event in Kenosha County. So I want you to give yourselves an applause for being so lovely. I would like the following to come and line up at the stage. First, the scholarships winners, Sydney Black, Raven Flowers, and then representatives from the Boys and Girls Club. Building Our Future, Kenosha Literacy Council, Safe Families for Children, Sharing Center, Society's Assets, the United Way of Kenosha County, and Women and Children's Horizons. So I do not think that Sydney made it. This never works. No, it doesn't. But just a little bit about Sydney. She is studying nursing at Gateway Technical College and currently working full-time as a critical care technician at Froedtert Hospital main campus. So we thank Sydney, even though she's not here. And next we have Raven Flowers. There's Raven's check. They got out of order. Okay. Raven is studying nursing at Gateway Technical College, and she works part-time at Ascension All Saints Hospital as a mother-baby technician and health unit coordinator helping postpartum patients and newborns. She's also a mom to 2 beautiful girls. Congratulations to Sydney and Raven. First, we have the Boys and Girls Club. It is receiving this grant for its Smart Girls program, which empowers and engages girls 8 to 18 in small group sessions, focusing on health, fitness, self-esteem, and prevention and hygiene. Accepting the certificate is Lloyd Lewin, Director of Operations. Next, we have Building Our Future. There it is. Building Our Future is getting this grant for its Youth Voice Project, which empowers youth to engage in decisions that impact their lives and participate in activities that amplify their voices within the community. Accepting the certificate is Maggie Campbell, Director of Strategic Initiatives. And they just did a really awesome candidate forum that we're all very proud of, so congratulations, Building Our Future. The next up is Kenosha Literacy Council for its Empowering Women Through Literacy program, which provides tutoring for adult female learners. Accepting the certificate is Executive Director Cheryl Hernandez. Next, we have Safe Families for Children, Racine Kenosha, for its Family Prevention program, which in cooperation with Child Protective Services, provides support, stability for women at risk or who have lost their children and are working to be reunited. Accepting the certificate is Director Heather Gaither. This is for the Sharing Center for its Hygiene Supplies program, which helps women pay for essential items like feminine products, diapers, and the like. Accepting the certificate is Executive Director Sharon Palmaville. Next, we have United Way of Kenosha. It is receiving this for its Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, which provides volunteer IRS certified tax preparers to give free tax preparation services to low and moderate income individuals. Accepting the certificate is Javon Clausen, Director of Community Impact Operations. Oh. Then we have Women and Children's Horizons. They're receiving the grant to create a new program brochures to better educate the public about its programs. Accepting the certificate is Executive Director Susan Sippel. And also not represented tonight is Society's Assets that is receiving the grant for their home safety program. So thank you so much, and please don't forget to bid on the Gourmet Delights. Meanwhile, I'm hoping all the former Lifetime Achievement Award winners are gathering to have their pictures taken. Oh, along with the current winners. I think we need Terry, Amanda, Christy, and Dr. Hancock. Thank you so much, everyone.
Well, I came to Kenosha about 35 years ago in 1990. I'm originally from Indiana, right outside Chicago, a little area called Hammond, Indiana. I came to Kenosha for a job opportunity with Kenosha County government. I was the economic support supervisor when I first came to Kenosha. I later became the Equal Employment Opportunity Coordinator for Kenosha County, and the last job I held before I retired was as the Workforce Development Director for Kenosha County. I think for women or younger women who are trying to make a difference in this community, it starts out by getting involved in the community. I don't think it helps to sit back and watch things happen, to complain about things that are happening. If you want to see change, then you have to be that change. You have to get involved in your community. If there's something that you're passionate about, an organization, a community event, then just get involved. Take one step at a time. Find something that really is a passion for you, and then just join and speak out. Don't be afraid to give your opinion, because as women, sometimes we're shy about giving our opinions. But I think we need to be more vocal. I think we need to be more present, and we just need to be involved. Be the change that you want to see happen.
The first award is presented to a woman making a difference through her work in business, government, or nonprofits. The 2026 recipient is Terry Jacobson. I got a lot to say about you, Terry. Hold on. Hold, please. Terry's story begins right here in Kenosha, born and raised, a hometown girl who grew up to become the 32nd Kenosha County Treasurer. Her dedication to service stretches far beyond the Treasurer's office. She has served on countless committees and boards. Some include the Kenosha County Girl Scout Board, the Girl Scouts of Wisconsin Southeast Board, the Racine-Kenosha Community Action Agency Board, and many more. She's read to students, spoken at career days for kindergarten to college, and encouraged countless young people to consider careers in public service. I'd say she's making more than just an influence, she's leaving a legacy. Having been brought up in the community service, being brought up in community service since she was just 4, giving back is ingrained in Terry's makeup. It is who she is. I think we can all agree that when Terry shows up, she shows up with purpose. And if you didn't know, Terry's love language is food. Because of this, many of her efforts are focused on culinary education, ensuring people have access to local resources, and preparing healthy meals. She is affectionately known as Mama T, the woman who makes sure everyone's fed, supported, encouraged, and cared for. Please help me congratulate Terry Jacobson, AKA Mama T, as the 2026 Women of Influence in Business, Government, or Nonprofits.
Oh, do we do this now?
Oh, we're doing this now. You were ready. You were ready. So we're going to take a quick picture. Oh, wait. Go over here. She's so fast, you guys.
I didn't think you were going to say that much. Oh, well, I didn't think she was going to say quite that much about me. Well, first I want to thank KWN, AAUW, Tempo, and all of their members who tirelessly work every year to put on this event. I know it's not easy, and thank you all very much. I think this event is the perfect time to try to pay a little tribute to the amazing women who have inspired me. First of all, my mom. She had me out raising money, marching in parades, working to change laws before most kids even knew what the word legislation meant. It was dressing me up in costumes for parades, give a hoot, don't pollute, everything. I was a walkie-talkie once so that we could buy walkie-talkies for crossing guards, like all the things. So she inspired me to public service. It was never a question if I would do public service, just how I would choose to serve. So much of this award belongs to you. Thanks, Mom. This leads me to an amazing woman, Ida B. Wells, who once said that we should treat the world well. It was not given to us by our parents, but lent to us by our children. And I think that's really important because as my mom told me to commit to public service, she also instilled in me the idea that public service isn't to benefit myself, but for others that would come along after me. Well, some of those people I might be gracious enough to meet, many I would never meet and never get to know. And some of the greatest inspiration I've found in this journey have been the young people of our community. And what they have been able to accomplish with just a little bit of love, a hug, some kind words, and a little hand up when they need it. And I think that's important for us to remember. For example, the Mahone Foundation, working with the scholars of that program, seeing what they have overcome to get where they're at now, and the fact that they continually come back year after they graduate college to continue helping the next generation do the same thing. The Girl Scouts that I've worked with over the years, those girls do community service projects from building things for our public parks to creating hygiene bags for people in need. They often overcome fear of power tools and public speaking, and it's really amazing to watch them overcome that. These young people have given me the strength to keep going, frankly, when I've been tired or stressed out or just frustrated thinking that nothing is going to get better and everything is staying the same. Besides my mother, I have been blessed in my life to be surrounded by incredible women throughout the community. And they've come together and they've made an impact. Starting years ago with Nancy Principe and Lucy DeBerg, who were in the trenches with my mom raising money and awareness, to Fran Kavanagh, Peggy James, and Laura Gillott here at UW Parkside as my professors who taught me how to be smart, feisty, and kind, to other local elected officials like Catherine Marks and Louise Principe, Eunice Boyer, and Ann Burgo. They taught me how to get things accomplished in government at a time when I was often surrounded by men who were old enough to be my father, if not my grandfather. Then there are the community activists like Joan Wilk and Artis Mahone, Pam Drummond, and Sharon Palmaville. They have shared their wisdom and their energy with me, and they are still in the trenches fighting every day to give people more opportunities in our community. Them and so many more have taught me incredible lessons about what it means to be passionate about your community's well-being and how to change things instead of just cursing the darkness or getting lost in despair. Another great woman who inspires me is activist Ella Baker. She once said, "We who believe in freedom cannot rest." Now this might explain, Mom, why I don't sleep a lot, so answer's there. But as I look around this room, I know there are plenty of others in this room that don't sleep very much either, because I've been blessed to work alongside so many of you over the years, and I hope I've helped you, and I've inspired some others to join us in making our community a little better every day. Now, none of this would be possible without the continual support of my family and my crazy, amazing group of friends, many of whom are here tonight. Thank you, guys. And the guy who is often in the background helping to build, fix, clean, and move things, Mark Doxis. He is the introvert to my extreme extrovert. And it's been over 32 years since we met. And much of what I'm being honored for tonight would not be possible without his constant support and willingness to go along with me on this very crazy ride every day. I'll end with something that Ruth Bader Ginsburg once said that I really feel in my bones. I want to be remembered as someone who used whatever talent she had to do her work to the very best of her ability, and to help repair tears in her society, to make things a little better through the use of whatever ability she has. And I hope my work in the community so far has done that. Thank you.
Who's energized now? We have 2 minutes before the next table closes, so if you have some bids out there, please, in 2 minutes, that's close. Congratulations, Terry. Our next award is given to a woman of influence who is active in arts and education, and the winner is Dr. Michelle Hancock. Dr. Hancock's career spans more than 25 years in the classroom, in addition to years of service as a principal, district administrator, and superintendent, where she championed access to quality education for all students and families. Since joining Carthage College in 2014, Dr. Hancock has continued this mission by fostering inclusion, strengthening community relationships, and helping secure more than $1 million in support for students pursuing higher education. Her leadership has advanced collaboration, increased students' resources, and expanded opportunities for professional growth across the campus and community. Her passion for family, education, and mentorship shines through in everything she does. She encourages young women to never stop learning, to know their worth, and to live lives of service. This evening, we recognize a woman who has strengthened communities, opened doors for students, and elevated the standards of what it means to lead with purpose and compassion. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Michelle Hancock as the 2026 Woman of Influence in Arts and Education.
Good evening. Wow. If Susan B. Anthony were here today, what do you think her message would be? Her message would be, we rise by lifting others. I believe this because of my many years of living and teaching in Rochester, New York, home of the Susan B. Anthony gravesite, Mount Hope Cemetery, a premier memorial, and also the gravesite of a fellow abolitionist, Frederick Douglass. However, after my many years of teaching students about Susan B. Anthony, I discovered a little-known fact about her that was rarely highlighted, reinforcing my belief that Susan B. Anthony's message today would be, we rise by lifting others. Now, thank you. Firmly believe it. To ensure women were admitted into the University of Rochester in 1900, Susan B. Anthony pledged her cash value of her own life insurance policy to meet the school's financial demands. She wanted women at the University of Illinois in 1900. And all during my 25 years of teaching in Rochester, that was a fact that I was unaware of. And they named that insurance policy, it was referred to as her life insurance sacrifice. That meant that she surrendered something of value to achieve a significant goal. But also, we all know, we all should know, that sacrifice could be giving up your personal comfort, time, money, or goals for another person, or for a higher purpose. But we rise by lifting others through a life of purpose and service. And Susan B. Anthony did just that. Now, we all have the capacity to rise by lifting others. We really do. So how do we commit to something like this? We commit to rising by lifting others by building inclusive, collaborative environments through the relationships we create with one another. I learned this lesson from my heavenly parents, Edward and Betty McFalls, for my husband of so many years of marriage, Charles Hancock, from my two sons, Julian, who is here with me tonight, and my son Brandon, who lives in California and could not be here tonight, but also from my granddaughters. I have 3 of them, and 2 of them are here tonight, Jordan and Jaden, okay? And let me just say this, all the dear friends in Kenosha and Racine and on the border of Illinois and in Chicago and in Milwaukee that I have created and learned from, and the colleagues at Carthage College and the students, some of them are here tonight. Hello, thank you for being here to be by my side. I know that all these individuals, personally and professionally, have supported me for all of my career. So we rise by lifting others when we use mentorship to support and provide guidance, and when we use our advocacy to influence and use our reputations to promote others. But we also rise by lifting others by using restorative justice to repair harm, to build community, and foster accountability when conflicts arise. So tonight, my final message here is tonight, the Kenosha Women's Network, the American Association of University Women, and Temple Kenosha, who I'm honored to have been a member of for so many years, can never make the meetings half the time, but I'm proud to be part of them, are honoring for the impact of women who rise by lifting others and by following Susan B. Anthony's adage, failure is impossible when we organize, agitate, and educate. Thank you for the blessing and the acknowledgement of my lifelong service and work in arts and education. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Dr. Hancock. Well deserved. The next award goes to a woman to watch under 40, and the recipient is Amanda Kurt. Amanda is a construction professional, business owner, community advocate, and apparently a butter champion. Correct? Yes? She once won an award for Best Homemade Butter in Kenosha County. So I have to ask, is there butter up there for anyone to bid on? Next year. Next year. All right, everyone. Next year, butter. Beyond her day-to-day work, Amanda helped launch Women Build Week with Habitat for Humanity in Kenosha. She regularly volunteers at schools of all levels and creates community events where kids can learn and explore the field of construction. She mentors, she volunteers, she champions local organizations, and she does it all with authenticity and heart. In an industry where she's often the only woman in the room, Amanda doesn't just take up space, she expands it for others. She empowers young women to claim their space, trust themselves, and build lives rooted in who they truly want to be, not who the world wants them to be. And Amanda lives the lesson daily. Amanda is, in every sense, a builder, creating strong foundations not only in her work, but within her community. Please join me in congratulating Amanda Kurt, a community leader and the 2026 Women to Watch.
I want to thank everybody. I want to start by thanking everybody who's here tonight in attendance and the 3 organizations that continue to host this event and uplift women in our community. I am incredibly honored to receive this award. It means a lot, especially because it recognizes the work that I care deeply about, helping people see opportunities that they may not have known were for them. I also feel very fortunate to be standing here as a woman to watch under 40, especially since this journey technically started about 7 years ago when I slid into the DMs of Angela. For the record, it was for Habitat for Humanity and Angela posting if anybody wanted to help organize Women Build Week. And that one message turned into something much bigger. Since then, our committee has raised nearly $200,000, worked on 11 homes, and engaged more than 900 women builders on sites in Kenosha County. This is proof that sometimes the most impactful thing you can do is just send the message and say yes without anything in return. This week, I read construction-themed books to 90 second graders explaining that there are many roles for all types of people in the construction industry, and that yes, you can help build important places like schools, parks, libraries, and even the crowd favorite, McDonald's. But really, getting to stand in front of them and say, yes, you can build things, yes, you belong in these spaces, is what really matters. I'm incredibly grateful to be surrounded by people who are also working to open doors, challenge expectations, and build something better. Many of these people are here tonight, my family, my friends, and the people who continue to support me and show up along the way. I am thankful for each of you every day. As I look ahead to my final few years of being under 40, I plan to keep doing work that's worth watching by building strong foundations in our community, saying yes to opportunities without expecting something in return, supporting local businesses, sharing the great opportunities in our communities, and continuing to show others what's possible. To me, the spirit of this award is about opening doors and making sure people know that they belong on the other side of them. So if there's one thing I'd ask of you all, it's this: show one person what's possible. Bring a student to your work. Talk to kids about careers they've never considered, or simply tell someone you would be really good at this. Because that one moment, that one conversation, and that one invitation can change somebody's path. Thank you.
Congratulations, Amanda. Oh, we have 3 minutes for the next one to close, next table. So if you're on the last table and you're bidding, please go and bid more. The more we raise, the more we get to give back to our nonprofit organizations tonight. All right, and now last year's Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Keisha Jones, will present the 2026 Lifetime Achievement Award to Christy Schaefer-Kluch.
My name is Keisha Jones, and I won the Susan B. Anthony Lifetime Achievement Award in 2025. I moved to the Kenosha area in 2002, and I am a wife, a mom. I volunteer a lot in the community. There are so many great women doing things in our Kenosha community and in the world at large, and it's just so important. We take on so many things, from navigating how to raise our family and support people in our community, in addition to having full-time jobs, being in school, being educators, being nurturers, volunteering at church and just in various organizations. And it's just so important to take a moment to pause and stop and honor those women who show up and show out and continue to lead in various capacities despite what could be going on with them personally, despite what could be going on in their families, and all the things that we do to just keep things moving. And we do it with, I think, such style and such grace and such a genuine compassion, because we really do just have this desire to want to see other people succeed, to want to help others. So I think just being able to have this type of award ceremony where we can really just stop and recognize women that are doing great things in our community is just really invaluable. So I think this is a great opportunity for women in our community.
Good evening. I just want to say thank you all for gathering in this space tonight as we pause to honor the remarkable contributions of women that are right here in our Kenosha community. So thank you to everyone who is responsible, Kenosha Women's Network, Tempo, AAUW, Wisconsin, the Susan B. Anthony Awards Committee for ensuring that celebrations like this continue. Tonight, we've witnessed such excellence in action from the nonprofit organizations to the phenomenal 2026 Susan B. Anthony Women of Influence. So congratulations again to all those organizations, to Terry, to Amanda, to Dr. Hancock. Your inspiration and influence and dedication will fuel generations to come. So thank you for that. And now, let us continue our celebration as we honor our 2026 Susan B. Anthony Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Christy Schaefer Kluch. Surprisingly, I did not know Christy before our paths crossed, but in preparation for tonight's program, we met over brunch. After meeting her, I realized quickly that we shared many similarities, and her presence was very familiar to me, one rooted in care, commitment, and compassion. As we met for brunch, I felt like I was catching up with an old friend, certainly not meeting someone new for the first time. Christy was sincere, engaging, and her smile contagious. I'm sure many of you know that all too well. As she shared a bit about herself, themes emerged from her stories, almost like a word cloud just hovering softly behind her. The things from her stories that stood out to me: family, community, serving others, mentoring, helping, unifying, nurturing her children, caregiving, supporting, educating, sharing, teaching, legacy building, connecting, giving back, working together, family. Every story Christy shared about interactions with community groups, children, family, friends, work, and her passions spoke to the heart of what she does every day at the Schaefer Financial Group. I'm still in your tagline, we're there when life happens. Christy is there when life happens. And not by accident, not by obligation, but she's there because she cares. Christy, you are so deeply rooted in our Kenosha community, and we are proud to honor you tonight from being a Bradford alum, UW-Whitewater, continuing the family legacy at the Schaefer Financial Group, providing leadership through whether it's Tempo, Hospice, United Way, Hospice Alliance, the Kenosha Chamber of Commerce, and countless other organizations. You exemplify the essence of this award, which is given to women who believe in equity and exemplify that philosophy, giving to others so that they might learn, grow, advance, and succeed, providing inspiration through leadership, and serving the Kenosha community. In your own words, which I borrowed after we became Facebook friends by stalking your Facebook page, I want to echo words that you shared for some of your dear friends and redirect them back to honor you. Through every season of life, you show up with grace, strength, and heart. You are a constant source of love, light, and laughter in this world. Christy, your care, commitment, and compassion for others is why you are here. Please join me in welcoming our 2026 Susan B. Anthony Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Christy Schaefer-Kluge.
Well, thank you, Keisha. Yeah, it's a real treat when you get a chance to meet some of the lifetime winners, and it's like this instant connection. And forgive me, I am at that juncture where extra glasses are necessary. Hello and good evening. It is a very surreal experience to be here right now. I am much more familiar sitting out with all of you. Thank you again to all the Women of Influence winners, current and past. And it's really special. Early in my career, I was more active in Kenosha Wins Network, then added Tempo Kenosha because of so many wonderful women here in the building, and I'm forever grateful for that. The award itself, I joked with my kids, do I get a walk-up song? You know, I got high school athletes, you know, that was currently ended. But leading up to this evening, so many of you were so kind. You took the minute, I may not have known you well, to write a note, send a card, make a call, and it touches me very deeply. This evening is special because of all of you. And again, at the juncture of my life, I feel like I'm just getting started. And so the reality of sitting in thinking about a Lifetime Achievement Award is something I'm incredibly grateful for. And I vividly remember the phone call I got from Rita Hagen. We were at home on a Tuesday night back in December, and I don't think I was listening because I said, I kind of had to have her repeat it one more time, and then the invitation, are you willing to accept it? And I kind of went silent. If you know me, I have the gift of gab. If you ask my family from the office, I kind of like to chit-chat and talk. And I think I humbly said yes. And then the next morning I said, did I tell you thank you? Because I couldn't remember. But if you ask my family, my kids are here, my parents are here, my siblings are here, that in itself is a really wonderful thing to happen. My closest friends, you know, and all of you who chose to come this evening, my colleagues. Catches me by a little bit of a surprise. So once I caught that grasp, and again was able to mention, and that without knowing that some of my dearest friends might have made a nomination to include me here, the connections with so many of you have allowed me to grow up. I grew up with a lot of you in Kenosha Unified. That's kind of wild, right? Crossing paths from people from a few decades ago because of some of the special connections in town. You know, be it Girl Scouts, be it the Y, all the special things that are near and dear to ways that we raised our kids having those same important things in their life. Looking at the past 34 years of recipients, I've looked up to so many of you women and always thought, I hope I can be a little bit like them. And so being able to join your choir and company, you also graciously welcome to, I thank you for that. Music in our family is really important. So if you come to our house, we might have the record playing. Most of us had the record of the music going. We were all getting ready today. And I always think that is such a healing thing. Music is such a powerful thing. If you have not seen live music here on campus or abroad, highly recommend that you do. It's moving. There's nothing more like it that can fill your soul, and I think music, if you know me, one of my favorite things, I got to see Lauren Daigle at Red Rock because of our daughter, you know, so those are some of the special things that are really hard to top. When I think of Susan B. Anthony, I'm not even at her age just yet when she voted. And if you haven't heard that from the current winners, in addition to saying, I'm echoing exactly what everybody else has said, it's that fight, not just to vote, right? Because of education. And I had to remind myself, she is a fashion pioneer. So all of us ladies, I think, enjoy that aspect as well. I dreamed about being a mom since I was a little girl. And the funny story goes, my parents came home with my twin sisters. At 2 years old, I thought one was for me. So, you know, in my line of work, my background was professional and collegiate sports. I had a lot of fun and growing up here at Harvey, Washington, and Bradford. Because of the opportunities at Bradford, be it competing with DECA or FBLA, I was invited as a high school senior to an interview at Whitewater. And I think about that time way back when, very few women in that industry, there really wasn't proper programming or curriculum. All that I knew was I wanted to have more attendance at women's sports. And that's how that conversation began. Lucky as a 17-year-old, I got to meet the Dean of Business at Whitewater, as well as several of the head coaches, and said, let's make this happen. And again, in women and in equity, at the time, we had women's and men's sports separated by gender, separated by a hall. Sounds a little odd to say that out loud now. I was their liaison because we had to be able to work together, and there had to be some cooperative efforts to allow the women to succeed just like the men. So when I look back kind of at my time at Whitewater, having those opportunities, you know, and pitching ideas, like people like coming to things to win money. Like, let's just have shoot-a-thons, try to win 10 grand. That does help, trust, that does help. And looking at the opportunities I had with so many mentors kind of in my career, as a marketing major and the dream of working in the NBA, my dream was the Bucks. So if you remember in the 90s, there was this thing called a lockout. They don't really need a whole lot of marketing and sales or tickets or sponsorships. So that wasn't the plan. And so I say at the time I was a 4-year intern at Whitewater, the first sports marketing intern they ever did have. I also was working for the Bucks for a couple seasons. And if you know of the Milwaukee Mustangs Arena Football, I would pretty much work any free internship you offered me. And so we had the experience. You might have known before our Kenosha Kingfish, we actually had the Kenosha Croakers. I too worked there a summer, you know, so my roots are deep here in Kenosha. But when I look back to Whitewater, one of the experiences I had that I think I see still here in my career now was a group called Pi Sigma Epsilon. I was invited as a freshman to come look at a meeting, and if you're not familiar with the group, they have fostered sales and marketing skills for young people, for students since 1952. And it was there, I began on the marketing committee. And then guess what? I said, I think I can be a good president too. But there's a lot of naysayers, you know, that resistance or you know, objections that you're too busy, you know, you don't have time to do that. And I didn't really like that. So I went ahead and ran and I won. And guess what? It was on the whole mission, let's try to work together and have collaborative efforts. Those are some of my favorite memories, leading a group of really community-minded fellows, students. We taught a lot of junior achievement in the classrooms. We did quite a bit of outreach at the Whitewater Nursing Home and the Whitewater Schools, fundraising on campus for Habitat for Humanity, doing our 24-hour swing-a-thons. Later, I returned as a judge and did quite a bit supporting as an alumni, which I think is wise, and I think that's important to give back in that way, and taught junior achievement here in Kenosha Unified for about 15 years. But it was that graduation thing, that hang up with the Bucks. And so I took a leap of faith, and if you're familiar with Billie Jean King, I got to go work for her. And so I pretty much lived as a professional tennis player for 6 years. As a director of operations at 21, you can't rent the car to get the tennis players to the matches. That's a problem. I quickly learned that the 9 owners with 9 separate agendas failed to realize you kind of plan like the travel schedule where we're flying like several months out. I had 30 days to figure out how we're chartering planes to get us somewhere, so we didn't have league fines. So as a young professional, I too was one of the few women in that room, with the exception of Billie Jean King. And so you think of those kind of opportunities and say, how has that gotten me here? I remember having this conversation with my dad. I'm blessed to have my mom and dad, Greg and Diane, here. And again, as my siblings, Tricia, Stacy, and Troy. I should probably mention my kiddos here, you know. I got Daniel, Grace, and Jacob, and my husband, Dan, and Ella, our special friend. But I think of those opportunities at the time, and I remember saying to Dad, I think this is getting old. And I think I'm ready. And the wise advice, if you know my father, he may have told you, we got to enjoy the journey, right? We got to soak it all in. I think I'm ready to come into business, and that was always my goal. My goal was always to work with my dad. You know, my grandpa was in the industry. I'm third generation. That was always my dream, and let's figure out how we're going to make this happen. So a lot of my early clients were a lot of coaches I worked with, a lot of professional athletes, and that's kind of my beginning, and a lot of the Kenosha Unified teachers and coaches who had me. And so to have that full circle love is a pretty remarkable thing. We love serving Kenosha. You know, a lot of our clients may not be here local anymore. I treasure those relationships. It's something that we get to grow up with our clients, you know, with their kids, with their grandkids, and our objective is to help people. You know, as a president of a group, you know, whether it was PSC on campus or Temple Kenosha, I'm immediate past president, we want to do good things. We want to work collectively together. And I think in the room here, I think we can all agree a lot of powerful things can happen in our beautiful community while we do that all together. I once received a book for my birthday, The Perfect Moment. My favorite line is, I want to live a happy life, one for which I'm grateful and acutely aware of time well spent. I make the choice each day to wake up with a grateful heart, and I strive to be kind and allow my mind to be fierce, my spirit brave. I'm deeply honored with this distinction at a time in my life where I do truly believe I'm just getting started. It's a time to reflect. I think having children, I think as a mom, I think you try to do the best you can, if not better. And again, I think if we see our young people in our community, there's a lot of need that needs to be happening on a grassroots level, and there's a lot of ways all of us can do that. The world needs our kindness. They need us to be amazing and to continue to give of your time, your talent, your patience, and to serve others in our beautiful community. Thank you very, very much.
Congratulations, Christy. So I have to say that this event, I'm always inspired. I hope that you are too. As Christy mentioned, there's so much need in our community, in the world, and just imagine what we could do if each and every single one of us did a little something, just a little. I mean, these women are doing amazing things, and they have lists. Their resume is so extensive, and I always hope that I can just do a little bit, so. So I hope you all are inspired as I am. And then I want to thank the Girl Scouts. This is Troop 31612. They volunteered tonight for the coat check. If you tip them, the funds will go to a trip to Mall of America that they're raising funds for. And before we end this beautiful celebration, can we please give all of these wonderful award recipients another round of applause? Thank you again for inspiring everyone in this room, and thank you for, again, another successful night. I hope to see everyone next year.